All you guys have been killing it from the beginning, so I appreciate all you guys hopping on. I just kind of want to touch base, um, ask some questions really that I think would be beneficial for others to hear, whether they're already in the industry, maybe they're looking to sell IULs, maybe they're looking to recruit, become more profitable, whatever it is, or maybe they come from solar, which you guys all have a background in, or just another sales position, or looking for a new path altogether. So Ian, I'll start with you, man. Um, you're one of our top three producers, in our group. Um, this month you're on pace. I think it was like 13 something, a little under 14 IP week 1 of June. So you're on pace for a 50K a month. What made the most sense to you about whether it was insurance, the products we sell, and you guys, selling IULs, that allowed you to, you think, to have that success pretty early on? Was it the product? Was it the industry as a whole? Or was it kind of a combination of everything?
Yeah, well, definitely the product. I mean, I know like if I'm going to work in something, I've got to believe in it, and this product legitimately helps people. So after studying kind of what it does, and like I'm getting one for myself as well, that really helps. Just kind of working with it and helping other people get set up with it too. So just believe in the product, and it makes sense. It's something that everybody should really get, or have something in place, whether it be life insurance or IUL. And so that really helped, just belief and just knowing that these people are reaching out to us because they want help setting it up. And so you're able to just assume that they need this information, and working with that really helps.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I think the biggest thing, right, is just getting a hold of people. If you can get a hold of people and get people to sit down, I think the product sells itself. It's a pretty easy transaction, when people understand what it is and how it can help them. For you, Cal, you did what I think like 5K week 1. I know we joked about this before, but how long did it take you to make 5K selling solar, or what was your story about solar and how long it took you to get paid?
Yeah, no, I started solar at the beginning of last summer. And I did that for 3 months and didn't see a single dollar from it. Um, and so I ended up getting paid about 2 months after I decided, this isn't the avenue to be putting all this time and effort into. And so yeah, it just wasn't sustainable as far as, you know, obviously getting paid, but also like, when you commit to something and you're pouring, your energy and time and effort into it, and nothing's coming from that. Um, it's hard to keep that going. And then you kind of have the realization that, you know, um, this isn't the right avenue I should be in at this point. So
Right. Connor, you're like a recruiting machine, dude. You think you've got like maybe 5 people taking their exam within the next week or two. And I know you had a sizable team in solar too. So what about insurance in our structure, makes it, easier to recruit, or what was more attractive about building a business in insurance than, your experience in solar building a team?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, well, I have found a really good, I guess the word for it would be like conviction in
Mhm.
in the insurance industry versus the solar industry, just because of how the business model is and how we're able to do our work and do our job, which is like the bare minimum of what is in sales. Like you first you got to get good at doing your job and actually selling, and then you can start bringing other people and um, being responsible for others to do the same. And I really just liked this model versus traditional door to door that I've been doing for the last 6 years, because it allows you to work from anywhere, work from home, work from your phone, wherever you are. And you're able to talk to a lot more people that way. And I think it's a lot more attractive in the pay structure, the way that especially we're structured, where this is a pretty simple transaction, like you've already said, and we get paid a decent amount of commission comparative to, I think we're paid even at the starting comp level a little bit more than we quote unquote deserve for how really easy it is.
For sure.
And I'm excited to see kind of, those numbers increase of like doing 50K a month, 100K a month, so forth. But I think the biggest thing that the people that I've been reaching out to have been telling me is literally just those things. Like, I can't believe it's an opportunity where we can work from where we want and get paid the amount that we're getting paid for doing this, because like it's so simple of a transaction compared to something like solar, or even doing door to door with something like pest, where you're still, that's technically the easiest door to door product to sell. But with this, it's literally just calling people up saying, hey, you had interest in this. What was it that you had questions about, or what interested you? And then guiding them towards the financial solution that they're looking for and that's going to benefit them in the future. And just a combination of all those things have kind of made it, the best thing that I've seen to do in sales. And
Scalability is big, right? In terms of
yeah,
like from you guys in solar, freedom of location or lack thereof is a big factor, right? It's like, hey, pack up your stuff and move if you want to work,
yeah,
type thing.
yeah. That's a big thing on the recruiting too, is like when I'll have people that were from solar reach out to me and they're, in Kentucky or Florida, I'm not having to tell them, yeah, well, we only work in these states, so you have to drop everything you're doing, fly across the country, sleep on an air mattress in an Airbnb, and knock doors for 90 days. Where it's just, yeah, so you're doing what you're doing now. All you literally have to do is set aside a minimum 5-6 hours a day to do this if you really want to succeed. But honestly, you could um, get decent numbers just by doing it however much you want. It just all depends on your skill level. But if you're putting aside, at least a 9 to 5 schedule, then there's no way you can't be successful in this. And it's not something that's so taxing on the body and on the mind.
Right. No, I love that, man. Ian, we talked about this a little bit in our internal meeting, but talk about kind of how this can really just come down to something as simple as a numbers game. And how for you, just in terms of production, you were able to kind of pare that down and make sense of just it being a super straightforward path to scaling up in terms of sales.
Yeah, well, it really is just, a numbers game, like just getting in front of as many people as you can. And so if you're putting in that volume, like you get just way more out of it. But also, even for somebody who may come into this and they don't have sales experience, just put in the volume and, you'll run into those people that are just lay downs where they're reaching out because they really want this in place. So just, keeping that volume high. I mean, I'm trying to do $300 a day, and that turns into 7,000 or 8,000 a month. And even if you only close, 0.001% of those on those dials, you're getting 7 or 8 deals a month, and that keeps you in business. So,
Yeah.
And that's also just something for, no sales experience. I mean, just put in the dials, and you're going to run into those people that they've been trying to get this set up for a while, and you're just there to help them out with it.
Absolutely, man. Cal, you're a young dude. And, for you, you've been going to like a ton of events, like in-person stuff. Why do you go to those? What do you get out of those? And, why would you recommend those, if so, for anybody who's new and, is looking to get some in-person, help, whether it's practical or just networking and building relationships?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's the question I ask myself. It's like, if you're going to go all in on something or you want the result, you know, that the people you look up to and get coached from get, you know, why wouldn't you put in, you know, the most effort you can to be at those things, be around those people, um, and just be a sponge to learn and um, literally just to get the roadmap on how to become successful in the business. Um, and you know, um, yeah, I mean, it's literally as simple as that. Like you said, I'm 20 years old. I'm not anything special at, you know, sales or anything like that. But I think I've, you know, done a pretty good job of just taking your lead or following your lead, Ian's lead, Connor's lead, and just trying to be a sponge and be teachable and showing up and work. And I think it's, you know, or I know it's worked out. So
Yeah.
it's really that
I
simple.
think a lot of it comes down to proximity, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, trying to put yourself in the physical space, or at least, um, you know, the virtual space of those people who you know, you want to learn from and grow with. So I think it's awesome, man. You've been coming to those, and I think it's helped you a ton. What would you say to another, you know, person who's young, 18, 19, 20, 21, and they're looking to get into this business? What would you say is maybe one or two things, that you've either been taught or that you kind of gathered and picked up along the way that, you know, has helped you find some success in early on in this business?
Yeah, I think number one is just realizing that first and foremost, you're nobody. Um, Even if you think you're good at sales, or even if you are good at sales or working hard or whatever, that you have to drop your ego, and be willing to come in. And again, like I said, just be a sponge, listen, show up, do your job. Um, and again, like my example, dude, I've just literally followed Jake's lead. I mean, it's that simple, and he's been there, and that's a testament to him and all the other leaders in the business too, being accessible, and being there for their guys and stuff. So yeah, I just say, drop the ego, be teachable, work hard, and you know you'll find success.
Love it, man. And then lastly, Connor, so you had your own numbers that you came up with. I think it was something like it was like 80% return on lead spend or something. I don't remember the particular numbers, but you had it all mapped out or whatever it was. What would you say, um, you know, to somebody who is scared to invest in themselves, like, oh, I don't know, I don't want to buy leads, whatever. Like, can you explain kind of what that is? What is a lead? You know, why you buy them?
Mhm.
I've heard Zach say it's like you're buying income. I say it's just like you're buying inventory, just like any other business. You have inventory and you have to move it.
Mhm.
So how would you break that down as to, you know, what a lead is and why it's really important to invest in your business?
Yeah, I like the way that you put it too, as if it's inventory.
Yeah.
Because we are our own business and we're going through these leads. The thing that I really like most about it is that versus, and a lot of the stuff that I or comparisons that I'll make will be to door, just because that's been my entire, you know, I started doing it when I was at 18. So it's really my whole professional experience in anything is in door to door sales. But in that, we're going house to house, and the leads are free, of course, because we're knocking them, but we're trading our time.
Right.
And it's a grueling process. And yeah, there, you know, it's free to knock a door, but we're trading a lot of time to be able to get a sale. And with the leads, we're able to just buy people that are already at least somewhat interested. Like when we were first discussing like lead quality and, you know, what to expect, I think you made a great point that like really all we're looking for is for somebody to answer the phone and have some sort of vague remembrance of filling out something and being interested and seeing something about an IUL. Because it's not like we're gonna, if we were calling every person up and they were saying, "Yep, I want an IUL, sign me up, please,"
Yeah.
then this wouldn't be a business. You know, that this would have been, you know, everybody in America would be doing this.
Yeah.
But we're able to buy this inventory and then call them and then utilize our skills and our um, platform to guide them towards the right decision and then help them either whether it's general life or an IUL. And it's exactly like you said, we buy, X amount of leads for X amount of dollars. I think we have all the different options for, depending on the quality, but my first lead order, I put in like $800 and I made in deposits of commission paid, I think like it was 8.5 times return on that initial lead spend. And so I was a little bit nervous at first, not necessarily scared, but just like, brand new industry, haven't done this before. Like I had to buy these leads. And I was like, you know what, whatever, just make the order, sell them. And when they first came in, I was like, oh goodness, here we go. Just calling them up. And sure enough, if you put the work in, put the time in, it's just going to naturally fall into place. And so,
And another thing I like that you have said before is you kind of just conceptualize it in your head as like, I don't buy leads every week or every month. I really buy them once. And then you take that lead order and you go sell somebody what it is that they requested. And then you just take that same amount of money and you put it into the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And I sent you guys that analogy where they're talking about Vegas. And it was like, you put in whatever $10 chip and you win $20, you put that 10 in your pocket, and then your money is back in your pocket and it stays there forever. You just keep rolling it into the next.
right.
And so it's really like you just spend money on leads one time.
Yeah.
And then you're just rolling it, right?
Yeah, it was I used because I texted you after it like clicked in my head. I was like, dude, this is exactly like a video game. Like I spent $800 at first, and now my entire insurance career will all stem, no matter how much I spend on leads, no matter how much I spend on personal development or anything.
Yeah.
It all stems from that first $800 order. And it's really cool to think like that. Like you don't need a ton of money to start doing something like this. It can literally just be you put in your starting capital, just like any regular business. You have what you start out with, and then you're able to grow from there. Except with this, it can be a ridiculously low amount.
100%. Well, appreciate you guys. I thought this was awesome. I just wanted to kind of get you guys on. You guys are building a big business, and you guys all come from a similar background, and I think you guys just are going to continue to crush it. So appreciate you boys.